I can't believe we're doing a Reds podcast on the first night of NBA free agency. What are we doing?
Hey man, and it's hot and heavy out there.
I
I
know.
mean, and it's hot and heavy.
Yeah. But anyway,
It's crazy.
hello everybody. My name is Tim Daniel. His name is Ben Brown, and welcome to this week's edition of Late Night Reds, the June finale episode, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Brought to you by, of course, the Blue Wire Podcast Network and the Riverfront Media Network. If you are checking us out on the live stream, as always, thanks for hanging out. If you are catching the podcast feed a day later than normal, thank you very much. Nate had a really, really cool collab that was pretty awesome that we got to go with the Yankee one of the Yankee shows here on the Blue Wire Network. So we're excited. And then, of course, coming up this Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Smoke Justice live. Us, well, me. Ben unfortunately is busy.
Yeah.
But
which I'm not. I mean, it's kind of the gift and the curse. Like I am happy to be on vacation, but man, I would have loved to be there Saturday because it's going to be incredible. And nothing that I like more than Smoke Justice. Talking baseball and meeting people that know us and listen to us. It would have been a blast.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a great time. So myself, I'll be emceeing, but I'll be joined by Seth Shaner. I'll be joined by the Locked On Reds guys, which one of them is in the chat right now, Steve Offenbaker. Yes, Steve, the date was NBA free agency open tonight. And instead, we're talking about a team that lost 2-0 on a Sunday to the Cardinals and Lance Lynn, which we're going to get to, obviously. And, of course, we're excited to see everyone's going to come out. The Locked On Reds crew is going to be there. We're going to get you guys hyped, talking a little bit about, we're going to have the Walk into the Jungle guys on, getting a little bit ready for Bengals training camp here in a couple weeks. We get going around here. But before we get to all that this Saturday, and we're going to get to this weekend where the Reds played 4 games against the St. Louis Cardinals, and it was a lot of, if you could summarize this season in 4 games, it was this.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Yeah.
Thursday's looking fun, right? We go out there. Let's put 11 on the board. Ellie's got 3 hits. Spencer Steer homers. Noelvi Marte's first game, 3 hits. You're like, all right, cool. Friday, 1-0 loss. Frankie Montas is really good. Stuart Fairchild gets robbed at the wall for the last.
Oh, dude, that was.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Saturday, I for sure thought they were gonna lose when I saw it was sunny on the mound.
Gray. Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, this probably isn't their day. And then they put a 9-piece on them, and I was like, oh, what do I know?
Right.
Shout out Carson Spires, was really good in that game. And then today, 2-0 loss. And
yeah, dude,
there's a lot I want to get to from this. First off, I know Hunter Green did not go 5 innings. I didn't really hate his performance today. I thought he could have been a little better, obviously. Thought David also could have given him a little bit of a longer leash. But also, this was, I thought he was fine. And But there's like 9 other things I have more issues with today than Hunter Green not going 4 2/3. And I'm going to start with, so early in the game, Fairchild's about to try to running a ball down, stops and then dives. And that was great. And I'm listening to that portion of the radio, and Cowboy legitimately goes, when are we getting TJ Friedel back? Literally said that during the broadcast.
Oh, geez.
Flat out was like, yeah. And he's just like, he's as pissed off as we all are, obviously.
Yeah.
With how disappointed they are in the team. And then, so Santiago Espinal is like, I'll play left field for the second time in my life. The first time being the other day.
Yeah.
That was something. And then, let's see. So then Will Penton ends up playing center. Stuart Fairchild pinch hits for Nick Martini. That whole. What are we talking about here, people?
Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go, because I can see it on your face. Just get it all out, because I got a lot to say. Get it all out. Go ahead.
Ben, Levi Jordan had played every position in baseball except for right field.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? He played in his big league debut.
Yep.
Field.
Yep.
And I see today that I'm listening to Welsh today during the TV side of the broadcast. And look, I said this in our Slack chat. 99.9999999% of the time, I love Chris Welsh. I am all for everything he's saying. I'm a player. I'm a fan. He's my dude. Two things today he said that I was like, come on, Chris. First one is, well, it's about this whole broadcast. It's about this whole outfield thing. He goes, well, obviously David Bell is just like, I'll deal with the defense and trying to get some offense. Santiago Espinal, last I checked, is not someone that I'm like, bombs. And,
offense.
Yeah. And Levi Jordan, who maybe it seems like a genuinely nice guy and had a really fun first game this week. Not a guy I'm sitting there looking at like game changer.
Right.
And then we'll get to Jake Fraley later in the show. God bless his soul. And Will Benson, also God bless his soul. Will Benson got a hit in this series. Did you know that?
He did.
Yeah.
He did. One.
Yeah. And then
one.
So then the game's over. They lose 2-0. They're showing the whole thing. The Cardinals doing their high fives at the mound and everything. And Chris goes, and the most participation trophy comment I've ever heard in my life goes, well, this should show you how close these teams in the NL Central are, and the Reds really can get into the playoffs.
Yeah. That doesn't make me feel any better.
No.
It doesn't.
I know a lot of people don't like Lance McAllister. I actually do. I really respect Lance. Every time I've talked to him, he's been good to me. He's been very nice to me. He's always looked out for me. So he tweets today. Imagine being David Bell and Nick Krall is sitting there just not doing anything about getting outfielders, and this is what you have to throw out there on a day-to-day basis to try to win games.
Yeah, and that's why I can't blame him. And I know he takes a lot of heat and a lot of flack, but dude, you can't. There's an old phrase. What is it? You can't make chicken salad out of chicken crap. You know what I mean? Like you can't. Like you can try to put together as many things as you want, and you can try to do some different things. You can try to scramble guys together, and you can call guys up, and you can do all the different things that you really want to do. But the bottom line is that he's got poop soup.
He does have poop soup.
He's got poop soup, dude. I mean, and I don't know if that's the intention. I don't know if that's the attitude that the front office has. I don't know if that's where they were meaning to go to intentionally. And I get it. Matt McClain is out. I get that. But he's not going to solve that problem. He doesn't solve that problem. You got a guy in Will Benson. God bless him. I love Will Benson, but dude, he's been not very good.
To put it kindly.
You lose TJ Friedel, which God bless him, dude. God plays so hard, but he's been in and out. But he only solves one spot. So what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? If you're telling me this team is supposed to be in contention to win baseball games and to win the Central, you are not showing that by the moves you're making. You're not showing that by giving guys that David Bell can play that he knows are going to be consistent day in and day out. And we talk about this all the time. They're young. And they do. They have a lot of characteristics of a young baseball team. They honestly do. They have a ton of the errors, strikeouts, all the different things, the base running blunders. All those things are characteristics of a young baseball team. But the things that they can't control are the guys you put in the lineup. The guys on the field can't control that. If they see their name on the lineup, they go play baseball. Good, bad, or indifferent. They can't control that. So if you're telling us that this team is supposed to contend and they're supposed to be a winner and they're supposed to be fighting with the freaking Brewers and the Cubs and the Cardinals and the Pirates, like, you can't tell me you're going to throw that lineup there and put Espinal in freaking left field and that's going to be a winner. That's not a winner. Like what are we doing?
This is my favorite Ben Brown of all time.
Yeah, like it's just flabbergasted to me, dude. Like And it's not, and I'm not even sure. Like I said, you can try to blame David Bell if you want to. I mean, you can try to blame him, but dude, that guy's desperate. He's desperate. He's trying everything he can to try to make a lineup out of guys that honestly they shouldn't be getting major league at bats by now. They really shouldn't. And he's trying to manufacture some things. Thank God for Jonathan India being hot at the time he's hot, or we don't win the two games in St. Louis.
Yeah.
I mean, and Ellie's playing. Ellie's Ellie. I don't even worry about Ellie. Ellie's going to be Ellie, and he's going to do exactly what he did this weekend. You're going to get some good Ellie. You're going to get some bad Ellie, but at least he's giving you some consistency. But I don't worry about those guys. It's what you're putting around him. Even the pitching in the bullpen, I can't really complain about. We've had some issues where guys have given up. I'm growing a little leery of Lucas Sims, but other than that, and Justin Wilson too. But that's another subject for another day.
Meanwhile, Alex Young is in Louisville.
Correct. But even those guys have shown somewhat of being consistent. And even the starters, Hunter Green had a bad day the other day, but he was freaking sick. He threw up. But today he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. He gave you almost 5 innings, and he wasn't bad. I can take spot starts of being bad, but dude, you can't go into games that you're telling me that we're supposed to win. And I'm not saying we should have swept the Cardinals, but dude, you can't lose this many one-run games and expect to have success with the guys you're giving David Bell to play with. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? And I feel bad for that, because all the things that they could have done, all the moves that they could have made, all the things that you thought that, oh man, these are things that we should do, and they just sat pat. It sat on their hands. And now you're wondering why we can't get a consistent lineup, why we don't have any leadership, you did all the things there where all the chances you had to correct those things, you sat on your hands. So now this is what you have. You have a 500 baseball club that should be better than 500, and you want to blame everybody else except for the person you should be blaming.
Yeah. So, all right. I've first off, that was
I digress.
Buddy, maybe your best segment of all time. Maybe your best segment of all time.
I mean, just it's just so frustrating.
I just said, hold up, let him cook.
Yeah.
And you cooked.
It's just frustrating.
Yeah. So, here is okay. The game started with Fraley in right field, Fairchild in center, Will Benson in left. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It ended up being Jake Fraley, who had not played center field in, I don't know, I think since the last Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been a minute.
Yeah. Santiago Espinal in left field and Levi Jordan in right field. Will Benson at one point moved from left field to center field. Stuart Fairchild was pinch hit for by Nick Martini, who was pinch hit for by Santiago Espinal. And then Will Benson was pinch hit for by Levi Jordan. What are we doing?
Yeah. I don't get it.
I don't either. And then the Candelario thing, where I know he came back today, but he sat on the bench for 6 days and just nothing. I understand you maybe I give it a day or two, hey, can we do this? Because there's this wonderful thing on the IL called retroactive. I don't know if you guys have heard of this.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
Was this worth it? I mean, granted, I know they scored 22 runs in 2 games, but it's just unbelievable decisions they make here. And I just get so irritated. And you mentioned earlier, I understand where Hunter Green was coming from, because I also get sick when I see the Pirates. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Instantaneously it makes you want to throw up.
Yeah. Yeah. Unbelievable. By the way, in 2 weeks, Ben and I will have our Sheets shirts on. I didn't get Ben a shirt yet, so
yeah, we will be sheeting it up, dude.
They did send us
shout out to
Sheets.
Sheets.
That was awesome. And and stress balls, which is coming in very handy when watching the Reds play.
Yes. They must know us.
Yeah. They're like, oh.
They do a Reds podcast. Yeah, they need some stress balls.
They're like, this team's worse than the Pirates, and we are on the Pirates uniform. And
yes.
But Yeah, like they have now been shut out 7 times this year.
Yep.
They have 7 games this year where they have 0 runs.
Mm-hmm.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah,
That is completely unacceptable.
I agree.
Yeah, it
I
is.
agree. I mean, it's just super frustrating. Yeah, it's just frustrating. I mean, I don't know. There's no really words to really kind of describe it besides frustration. And here's the thing about it is if we if we didn't have guys that I thought that could take us to where we needed to be, then it would be different. But man, like we've got guys, and I feel like all they need is a couple more pieces here and there, and they could be really good. But for some odd reason, dude, like I don't know. They just sit on their hands, and it's just weird. It's just mind boggling to me. I don't understand it.
I've never been someone who just was. Look, when we came here, I flat out told Chad, I will never sit here on a podcast and say sell the team, Bob. I will not be that guy.
No. Yeah.
But I will say that this is Nick Kroll and staff's fault.
Mm-hmm.
That this is 1,000% something that they could be better at. And we've heard this thing now where it was like, I'm over August 1st last year. I'm over it because there's nothing they can do about it now.
No.
But we've already heard they're looking at guys. What do they think the market's going to be nowadays with 12 playoff spots?
Yep.
So I don't know. Let's kind of real quick. Today was the last day of June. I can't believe we're already at July tomorrow. Holy moly.
Crazy.
Yep. So here's what June looked like. And I think this really puts the picture that really makes this even more frustrating because between that first Cubs series to that Guardians series, I think we all felt pretty good about where things were going. No one's going to fault them for losing one of those Guardians games. They're one of the best teams in baseball.
Very good.
And then as you go into this stretch here, and like even the Red Sox series, the Red Sox came into GAPP hot.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me for a second. I'm sorry. Gatorade was on the wrong pipe. What are we doing?
Yeah.
So, all right. So that Milwaukee series where they lose those 2 games, really close games. One of them, they blow a lead the Sunday game. The Pirates series where the Hunter Green, Mitch Keller matchup where the Reds really should have won that game. And then again, I don't fault them for the Red Sox. The Red Sox came in GAPP on fire.
Yeah, they were hot.
Yeah, they were hot. And the Reds got that first game. And the second game, they should have won it. And the third game, they were very non-competitive.
Yeah.
It's these series. It's this Pirates series where you come out guns a-blazing and then you can't close the series. And the Cardinals series where you have 2 games where you score 20 runs in 2 games and 0 in the other 2. They did have a winning month. It's their second winning month, but May was so horrendous that they're still in an uphill battle.
Yeah, May was so bad.
Did June make you feel any better about where this team's going for the last 3 months of the season?
Not really. The positives I take away from it. I think we were trying to find a little bit of a groove offensively. We were trying to. I can deal with Ellie. India was incredible. Candelario getting hurt us or whatever he was doing. I know I'm not sure what happened, but he didn't play because he was probably our hottest hitter.
He was crushing it. That Red Sox game, he was on fire.
Yeah, he was crushing the ball. So for him to go down hurt, and of course we lose Friedel again. So it's like, you got 2 guys that were starting to lead the charge a little bit, go down. Especially when they were starting to turn a corner there. So, no, I mean, I still feel kind of the same way. I think that, if they don't add a piece or 2 here or there, they're going to be a very good team that's not able to get over the hump because they just don't have enough pieces yet. I mean, they're close, but it still doesn't make me feel any better because I just don't feel like our outfield is solidified. I mean, we've talked about that for the last 6 months. Like it's not what it should be.
I think if I were the front office, would I draft Charlie Condon in 2 weeks? I think I would just go and put him on the big league roster because I know he's better than what I got there already.
Right. Let's make it happen.
I wish I was joking when I say that.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, if he drops to them at 2. It sounds more and more like that's likely.
Yeah.
Thank God. Oh, my God. Thank God. But, yeah, I would just be like, all right, we drafted you. When do I show up in Billings? Billings.
Yep. Billings. We talking about? We're talking about? We're in Milwaukee next week, buddy. Let's go.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. Because I already trust him when I trust Stuart Fairchild, Nick Martini, Santiago Espinal, Will Benson, Jake Fraley, Levi Jordan, Jacob Hurtubise, Blake Dunn. Any other outfielders I'm missing from the season? I don't think so.
It's a cavalcade of just, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just a cavalcade of just unfamiliarity and just bad play and just weak arms and just it's just I don't know. It's just bad.
How is Stuart Fairchild so incredible with the glove and so mediocre with the arm?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's I don't know. There's got to be some kind of requirement when you become an outfielder. Like you got to be able to hit this certain mile per hour from center to home or left to home in order to play the outfield in Major League Baseball.
Shout out Joey Gaditza. We like the guys we have. That's nail on the head that they're going to say right there.
That is nail on the head. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did forget one. Connor Capel. Thank you, Sydney. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How can I forget the legendary Bubba?
Oh yeah.
How can I forget about the legendary Bubba?
Yeah. Jeez.
God, at that point would just sign Billy Hamilton back.
Yeah, I mean, geez, we've ran the gamut. We've ran the gamut, dude. Like we can't. Yeah, it's just
This team's 5 games under 500. This one,
right?
This Reds team.
Yeah, it's
no way.
Brutal. It's brutal.
Man, it is brutal.
Yeah.
A couple things before we get to talking about something nice for once on this week's episode. Carrie, shout out Carrie. They come in and they always have really nice stuff to see us get comments to start the show.
Oh yeah.
So said this. If I can, why is my mouse just not cooperative today? Sheesh. All right. Heard Ellie turn down home run derby. Glad. Don't need another injury. Think it's more a Boris move. They want Ellie in. If he accepted home run derby to not get on roster, so I guess he'll make sense. I guess he'll make the roster. I will say that for the sake of entertainment, of course, I think he would be incredible in the home run derby.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have an issue that he's not doing it.
Oh no. I've always been a guy like if you are a home run hitter, like when McGuire, Sosa, Bonds, Griffey, like those guys were home run hitters, then yeah, it's always weird to me because I feel like you have to change what you do in order to be able to hit home runs. Like home runs just come off of your natural ability to see the bat and attack the zone and drive the ball. Some guys that's good for, some guys it's not good for because sometimes you have to change what you're doing. Now, of course, it's just like batting practice, so I guess you can just kind of do that. But it's always been weird to me because I felt like some guys it's kind of hindered them starting their second half, and I don't know why. But yeah, I don't have any problem with Ellie not doing it. Just for the simple fact that if he's not comfortable doing it, then it's not going to be good. Because then why do it? Usually, guys that want to do it are comfortable doing it, want to do it, blah blah blah. But if he ain't comfortable doing it, then there's no need for him to do it at all.
Hey Ben, did you know that Todd Frazier won a home run derby?
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Todd father.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard about this.
I did. Wow. The Todd father?
Yeah. That exact guy.
That guy, yeah.
Oh my God. Should I explain the joke or should we just keep going with the show? Because the joke's really funny.
The joke is funny. Go ahead.
All right. So last year during the home run derby, I just was kind of just looking to have some like conversation on Twitter, and I tweeted from the Late Night Reds account. I said, if you could do a all-time Reds home run derby, who would you pick to be in it and why? And so I listed George Foster, Johnny Bench, Greg Vaughn, Ken Griffey Jr., and I think I put Joey in there.
I think Joe, yeah.
I can't remember the exact amount. I think I may have put.
But it was notable home run hitters, guys that are known for slugging baseballs.
Yeah, and so all of a sudden, my timeline blows up with, well, you know, Todd Frazier won one, so I would put him in there, and it goes like, okay, like that's fine. Do you really think he's better than the 6 guys I mentioned above him? And it turned into a thing. I was like,
the Todd Father. Right. You don't have the Todd Father in there?
For days, I was getting how could you forget Todd Frazier because he won?
I don't disrespect Todd Frazier. Like no disrespect, but I'm like, come on, guys, like,
yeah,
let's be honest about this.
Maybe the greatest moment currently in Great American Ballpark history.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's probably Homer's no hitter, and I was at Homer's no hitter.
Yeah,
at the one in Cincinnati. But
we love the Todd Father.
Yeah, that's probably the 2 greatest. Don't be wrong, but this is a hypothetical thing.
Flavor phrase.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, no doubt.
I mean, it's like the people that get mad that LeBron's never done the dunk contest, so they're like, "How dare you talk about an all-time dunk contest?"
Hey. I don't understand that logic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you wouldn't want to see LeBron in an all-time dunk contest, you're insane. And if just because he hasn't done one doesn't make it any different than me not wanting to see him in one.
Yeah, I mean, if they still did the skills challenge games in baseball, I would 1,000% love to see Ellie De La Cruz do the run around the bases that Larkin did in the '90 All-Star game at Wrigley.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I remember when we used to have the track with the stars. Did you ever remember that?
Yeah.
Like, that would be awesome too. To have LA run like the 100-yard dash or something like that.
Yeah.
See who's the fastest person in baseball.
Because Billy Hamilton and John Ross, when John Ross was with the Bengals, were trying to do one for charity, but Marvin would not let John Ross do it, so it never happened.
What?
I don't know if that's.
I mean, he was such a star.
Right. Yeah.
Why would you protect him?
And Billy Hamilton?
And Billy Hamilton. I mean, why would you? I mean, two icons. Why would you not have it happen? What the heck are we thinking? How come that didn't happen?
The Reds let a guy race
we protected Tom Ross and Billy Hamilton. We're running against each other. What are we doing?
The Reds let a guy race a cheetah, and then they're like, nope, not a human. Can't do that.
No, can't do that. I mean, what are we doing? He's like, no. You're not going to burn our investment. Really, John Ross? Oh, okay, cool. It's whatever. That could have been legendary.
This is where we're at in the season, people. You know what else?
That could have been, yeah.
You know what else I found out the other day? And I sent something to Sadak because I was trying to get him to ask Barry about it during the Pirates series. Did you know Barry Larkin did Rock and Jack Baseball in 1990?
I did not know that.
I believe that was the game when Will Smith took Dwight Gooden deep.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
All right.
Jeez.
How many people
you were going to ask him about the backstage antics, were you? Oh, man.
How many people are in the chat right now are under the age of 40 and have no idea what we're talking about?
Right. You never heard a Rock and Jock softball game?
Honestly, it was probably the greatest thing MTV ever did.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool where you could see, like Dwight Gooden versus Will Smith or, Joey Greco versus whoever. Like it was whoever the star was at the time, Pamela Anderson or whatever. It was pretty cool.
They did one in basketball where one year Gary Payton played for both teams in the same game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Sydney says August is going to be rough. Oh, yeah. We're just talking about Reds and pop culture at this point.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, we're going to do a full breakdown of Ken Griffey Jr.'s commercial for Sports Crackers. All right, guys?
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
yeah. Sydney says B. I forgot. Sydney's like 19, apparently. Sells beer at the
That's true.
ballpark, but
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
oh man. So yeah, look up Rock and Jock Baseball. I'm sure there's YouTube clips out there. We won't bore you guys with it. We'll get to talking about the man himself, Jonathan India.
Yeah.
And there are 7 different points I want to make here because of how much fun he's been. First one, he has said that he is going to go full on like curly mustache. Did you hear this?
No.
He said he's going to go full on curly mustache and he's going to shave the rest of his facial hair. So he's 1,000% going to look like Dustin Hoffman and Hook.
He will.
Yeah.
He will.
Yeah.
He is authentically trying to become Mr. Redleg.
Yeah. For sure. Absolutely
that's
is.
incredible.
Yeah. But let's talk about this month that he had because my dude rocked it. And
yes, he did.
A couple weeks ago when we had this conversation, we had the conversation of like, I don't want to get into what happened or anything like that. I just want to talk about how happy I am for him. This is like, okay, we're going to break down how he's playing because the last 30 games, a 370 batting average, a 458 on base percentage, a 570 slugging. He's a 570 slugging with only 2 homers. Yeah. That is rocking the leadoff position, my friends.
Yes, it is.
17 runs batted in, 37 hits, 20 runs, 14 walks, and 8 straight games with a double.
Man, that's incredible.
That's Joey Votto stuff right there. 8 straight games with a double. This guy, the dude. I don't even know if I have words for this at this point. He has brought his OPS up to 791.
Oh, jeez.
There are 3 guys on the current big league roster that have an OPS over 750. Him, Ellie, obviously at 810, and Candelario at 771. Spencer Steer's close. He's 744. But what he's been able to do, and I know we talked about this quite a bit through the year, just as far as like a lot of people really shy away from not being a fan of being the leadoff hitter. Lord knows it, other than Shin-Soo Choo and Drew head stretches. I'm not going to ever talk bad about Drew because Drew's been very good to our show. Drew's actually going to be on Red Leg Roundtable in a couple weeks with Seth. So everyone keep an eye for that episode. I can't wait to hear it.
What a good dude.
Awesome dude. But the Reds have really searched for a leadoff hitter for a very long time. This is, other than Shin-Soo Choo's 1 year, we have been looking for something like this. So I don't know if he's intentionally not trying to hit home runs. I don't think that's the case. I just think that the contact he's making, this line drive contact, hitting balls in the gap, has been so freaking tremendous. And so it bears the question. Is he an all-star? Is he a trade candidate? Or does he end the year in Cincinnati? Well, right now he's probably at the highest his trade value will ever be.
Gosh, geez. I do think he's playing at an all-star level for sure. I mean, what good? Let's be honest, Tim. What good does it do us to trade him? Like, do you really think we're going to be that aggressive? I mean, right. So, I mean, that's off the market. We're not going to trade.
We wouldn't even let Billy Hamilton reach John Ross.
Right. I mean, when we put restrictions on that, and that could have been the race of the century. I mean, you just don't know.
Right.
But yeah, we know we're not going to trade him. But I do think he's playing at an all-star level. I think that he's now. I don't know how that will work, or if he'll get the votes, or whatever the case may be, or if he'll get rostered on. But he has been incredible. The things he's been able to do and manufacture in that leadoff spot is, and we've talked about this before. The leadoff spot sets the table for everything because you're the guy that you see the pitcher first. You have to be really on top of your game because you've got to set the table for everybody else, depending on when you come up with the lineup. And he's done a terrific job of doing that. So to have that kind of pressure night in and night out, which he seems to enjoy and thrive in on a day-to-day basis, it's been incredible to watch him kind of play this month because you can see him truly get comfortable in that position. So, yeah, I would say no to trade bait. I would say yes to all-star. And what was the third one?
I can't remember. Something about fantastic facial hair.
Yeah. Oh, it's freaking the lettuce and the facial hair is phenomenal. So
yeah, bro.
But yeah, no, I think he's definitely playing at an all-star level. And he deserves that nod. because of how well he's played.
Also has maybe the best walk-up music of anyone on the team.
Ooh, what's his walk-up song?
Hustler Music by Lil Wayne. Shout out to Carter
Is it
2.
really? Oh yeah,
Shout out
it
to
is.
Carter 2, baby.
The Carter 2, his one of his better albums.
Yeah.
For sure.
People are for sure seeing all of our personalities tonight.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they really are. Ben and I have been friends for about 17 years, so this is all coming out tonight. So,
yes, it is.
Yeah, man. Hustler Music, Carter 2.
Yeah,
so
Carter
freaking
2
good.
Carter 2 is excellent.
Yeah, I think Will Benson was using Power by Kanye there for a minute. That was kind of cool. Even though Kanye is a lunatic.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't back or condone the things of Kanye. There was a certain time when he actually made really good music, so that's the part we like.
I was a senior in high school when Graduation came out, and
dude,
it's
changed the game.
Unbelievable.
Yes, it did.
He was a huge Kanye guy, music wise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I preface that. Joey Votto.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Yeah. I could see that though. I could see that.
Yeah. You guys came here to talk baseball? You guys came here to talk baseball?
I was going to say, man, we are pop culturing it up. You know what I mean? That's how we do it.
Oh man, he's just so a couple things I want to get to here. And Sydney has two really good points in the chat. I want to make sure. She says Indy's rookie year. I actually think he has been better than he was his rookie year. I don't know the numbers right next to me, and maybe I'm just going off of vibes, but I think he's been better. And then she makes one of his defense. I still would not go ahead and say that I'm putting him in the Gold Glove conversation, but he has definitely been much better.
Improved, yeah. Yeah, he made a play the other day. I scratched my head at it was a chopper ground ball, and he threw it instead of eating it, and it's just that stuff. But yeah, he's drastically improved defensively. Yeah, from where he was.
Yeah, why is it so hard for him and Ellie to turn double play it sometimes? It feels really weird to me that they just.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a I don't know, man. It's a feel thing. So hopefully they get it. That connection, that bond, like people who have never played baseball, it's hard to understand the bond between shortstop and second. And it's a feel thing. So hopefully those two, hopefully that becomes a little bit easier for them. But they do struggle with that, and I don't know why, because they're both really talented infielders.
Yeah. It almost makes you appreciate Brandon Phillips even more, that he had 47 shortstops he played with in Cincinnati, and he made them all look like double play demons.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Shout out B-Phil.
Yeah. That dude who had a birthday recently. Happy birthday.
We should get him on one of the podcasts sometime.
Oh, dude, he would be incredible.
Yeah.
You talk about running the gamut. He could talk everything: wrestling, baseball, music,
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
he'd be good.
Yeah, Joey Gaditza talked about that leaping catch he made. That was. Whew.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, did Jonathan India play basketball in a past life? I'm pretty sure he did. But
yeah, most major league athletes played two sports, so I would assume he was probably a basketball player.
Yeah, I always found it amazing Amir Garrett played at St. John's for Steve Lavin.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah. It was legit.
Yeah, he was legit.
It was legit.
I think it was Will Benson apparently had a offer to go play basketball at Duke.
He did. I remember seeing a story on that. Yeah, he was good too.
Yeah.
Another lefty.
You want to see some like crazy person play basketball. He's an incredible athlete in another sport. Look up T. Higgins highlights in basketball.
Oh no, I saw that the other day.
God.
Gosh dang, dude. Yeah, he was a freak. Well, we know that from football, but he in high school that was just unfair. He was a grown man.
Pat's
out of gym.
Pat's
what
here.
up, Pat?
Yeah. As we have 20 minutes left in the show, Pat decides to just ramble in. But hey man, Noelvi Marte's back. And this is a good thing. And I know that the last 3 games haven't been very fun, but the first game very much was. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to attribute to this. This dude is basically getting his spring training at bats right now when everyone else is in midseason form. So be patient, be calm. I have a feeling he'll be very close to who he was at the end of the year last year in the next couple of weeks. But the best version of the Reds have Noelvi Marte on the team.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point to make. He's definitely getting his spring training at bats now. And he will be, we'll look up here at the end of July, and he'll be way better than what anybody else that we would put over there or in the lineup because he's just a really good baseball player. So I don't worry about him. I mean, I think
Look at this comment.
Dang, Sydney.
So for those who listen to the pod in a couple of days, Sydney actually asked, is it too late for Will Benson to go to Duke?
Dang, Sydney.
I did see it.
Hey, we need to tag that kind of, like that needs that's a Twitter tag of the night. We need to put that one up there.
What was it? I think I saw there was someone, they might have been the Angels organization. I can't remember, but it was a guy who played a little bit of Major League Ball. He's going to go play wide receiver at the University of South Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that
happens a lot, though.
I think he's like 26. So
I think that happens more than what people realize.
Yeah. I didn't know that we could still do the Chris Winkie thing where we could just go play skill positions at old ages, not just punt.
Yeah, why not? You know what I mean? Let's make it happen. If the dream dies in one, you can make another one happen.
Yeah. Oh, Joey has not seen this. Is that a Spider-Man tattoo on your bicep? It is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Big Spider-Man guy. Carrie asks, what would you get in return for India? That's the $1,000 question because I have no clue. Knowing the Cincinnati Reds, a prospect.
Yeah, I was going to say
maybe two of them.
Yeah.
Sometimes they turn out to be really good. And sometimes they have guys like Connor Phillips who got designated to go back to the spring training complex from AAA.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sydney asked Julio, is it Reese Hines time? I at this point, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good question. You may have answered this already, but would you sell at the deadline? I think if they had things to sell, I would. You know what I mean? Like, no, this isn't making fun of them. This is literally like
but that you're spot on. Yeah.
Because I mean, you could sell Montas probably. I don't think you can. I don't think Candelario is going to be as big of a thing you could sell as, even though he's played really well because the 3-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how many people are calling the Reds for Jake Fraley. You know what I mean?
No.
And
there's the people are calling the Reds for one person and one person only.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that is, and that guy ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, so. I agree. Nick Martini.
Yeah, I was crazy. I was going to say Justin Wilson, but to each his own.
Montas and Severino, they could set the market. I don't think they would miss Montas all that much. I agree with this. I know Graham Ashcraft was not very good in his last outing that he came back. But I think with where they're at, you could probably get by with Carson Spires and Graham Ashcraft in the rotation. Or, hey, maybe just say F it with Rhett Lauder. I know he had a really rough outing the other day in Chattanooga. I don't know if you've looked at that Chattanooga team, by the way. These numbers are not promising.
Really?
I'm not very good. No, sir. No, they're not. Matter of fact, the whole farm system's kind of irritating. But Carson Spires has been great. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Carrie asks, when Lodolo returns, what happens to Ashcraft? That's a great question.
That is a great question.
Because he's got this start coming up in the Yankee Stadium where, with the way he's currently pitching, I just really cannot wait to see him face Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, and Juan Soto.
Yeah.
Who allowed that? Who said that was like fine? Who was like, yeah, we should let them do this?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
But Pat does bring up Julian Aguilar. I do like Julian Aguilar. He's doing well down there. But I don't know, man, because the conversation we've had a million times about Graham Ashcraft is obviously the third time through the order.
Yeah.
But right now, I just don't. And I hate to say this because I really like him. If you listen to our other shows, Nate has officially said he's maybe putting his condo on the market in Graham Ashcraft Island. He's owned a lot of real estate there over some time.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I think I think as Nixon's L Island is like sinking, I'm still I'm sitting on my roof.
Holding on.
Yeah. But man, to me, anything with Lodolo and Green, and throw whoever the hell else you want right now for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's just I hate to be that way, and I hate that I feel that way. It's just that this is the most disappointing Red season of my lifetime. This is not the worst team we have talked about by any stretch of the matter. No. But this is definitely the most disappointing team that I've dealt with.
Especially the bright spots they showed last year. I mean, coming into this year, there should have been a little bit higher expectation. Now, granted, we talked about the injuries and those things are going to happen, but the injuries are overcome with depth, and you didn't build depth. So this is where you sit when you don't have any depth, and you want to hold on to prospects, and everybody's like, prospects, got to have all these prospects. I'm like, well, you also need guys. When guys go down, you have depth. You have somebody that can go in and play and not just hold on to all these prospects.
Yeah. And I know people come here on Sunday nights to have a good time with us. We still want that. I mean,
we're having a great time.
Yeah. We had a straight laughing fest about a random almost race that never happened. Come on now. Like,
gosh dang, I will never forgive Marvin Lewis for that. Never.
No, ever.
Never.
Matter of fact, he's the DC for the Raiders. The Raiders come to town this year. I hope Joe Burrow hangs 50 on him.
Yeah, I will boo him every time I see him from here on out because he did not let John Ross race. That's a wrap.
The legend. I mean, yeah, and on the other end, Marge would have let Billy Hamilton race him. I mean, Marge let Billy race a cheetah.
Oh, yeah, dude. Marge didn't care. I just saw a video of her the other day. They show clips from the 90s Reds, and she's there puffing on a freaking Marlboro in the front row.
I can't believe she left Eric Davis in Oakland. I still can't believe that. It's been like 34 years, and I'm like, you left Eric Davis in Oakland? Like, you just left him at the hospital?
Just a horrible human being. Just a horrible human. Like, what the heck, man?
Oh, my God.
Gosh, jeez. Her and that dumb dog. I could see them sitting
Shotzi?
there now. Yeah. Not a fan.
No, you're not a fan of Shotzi.
Nope. From her and the dog. Jokers. Not a fan. You left a grown man who helped you win a World Series, but you put that daggum dog on the plane? What the heck? Come on, man.
Oh, man. That's so funny. What's not funny? The year Jake Fraley's been having. Dude, all right. I'm not a guy who cares about RBI. I think like the fact that people just get so hung up on that stat is really silly to me.
Yeah.
But when you have 9 of them in 63 games,
not good.
Yeah, man.
Is he healthy? Here, Tim, is he healthy? Like let's think about it. Is he truly healthy?
I hope so, but it doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it to me. It does not feel like this is Jake Fraley. I do not feel like he is 100%.
And look, everything that dude went through personally, like
absolutely,
understand.
1,000%.
Hope wish nothing but the best to him and his family. But something's off here.
It's hard to focus on baseball when he's had so many things going on. Like I get that, dude. For
sure.
Like I said, I'm not doubting or downing him at all. But it just doesn't feel. This does not feel like the guy that we saw last year. That just doesn't. It's just something feels off.
Yeah, because let's look at it. So in 63 games, like I don't care about batting average, but 274 is not bad.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Only 63 games, only 39 strikeouts.
Yeah.
So that's solid. You can live with that.
Absolutely.
So whatever's going on, man, I don't know. And maybe it is just kind of dealing with the personal stuff, and boy, do I get that for sure.
Absolutely.
And respect the hell of that he's still able to do his day job through all of that. Like that is very impressive. And I want nothing but the best for that guy forever. But he's not Jake Fraley right now, man.
Yeah.
And Unfortunately, the Reds need him to be Jake Fraley.
Yeah, and hopefully though he'll hit a hopefully he hits a groove because we know he's a better baseball player than what he's shown. But a lot of that comes with consistency, right? Like being in the lineup every day, not dealing with nagging stuff. It's just tough. So I hope for his sake that he gets back to where he feels comfortable playing the game the way that we know he can play it.
For sure. Yeah, because I cannot handle many more Nick Martini at bats.
No.
And
No.
for all the people who are like, well, Nick Martini really has been pretty decent. He really has only had one bad month. My guy, his last 30 games is rocking a solid 217 with a 287 on base percentage. Okay, let's just kind of call that what it is. Also, he went to Kansas State, so let's just kind of. I don't really have any issues with Kansas State. I just need something else to say.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever gone off the rails like this before on a show. Cindy said in somehow she was still better than Bob C. Oh my God.
Wow. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I can come back.
I don't have anything for that.
I got nothing for that. I mean, that's I mean, outside of the cigarettes and racism, I mean, I guess she did do it. I mean, she did. I mean, she brought a winner. I mean,
yeah. Right, Lou Piniella.
She did. She got us Lou.
Yeah.
Sports Illustrated cover. I mean, she did it all.
Sports Illustrated cover.
Right.
We forgot to talk about that one on the episode. We had Seth on to talk about the all-time Sports Illustrated covers in Reds history. Forgot about that one. Oh man. Who was it? Did you ever? You probably already knew this. At this point, whatever. We got 7 minutes left. We're gonna talk about the Yankee series, so we have some funny things to talk about. So did you know the story about when Billy Hatcher got traded to the Reds that he had no idea who he got traded to because his wife was going into labor?
No, I'd never heard that.
There's a book about the team. It might have been Joe Luckup that wrote it. It's a great book. It's a phenomenal book about the 90 team. And I guess his wife's water breaks and he's like going to labor and his phone rings. He's like, hey, I'm really sorry. I can't talk right now. And they're like, oh yeah, you've been traded. And he's like, two. And he hangs up the phone. And he's like, I get in my car. I start driving to the hospital. I get there and it clicks. And he's like, they told me I got traded. I have no idea where I got traded to.
That's wild.
Yeah. It was probably besides Larkin and Rijo, obviously, and Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite guy in the 90 World Series team?
Oh, gosh, my favorite guy on the 90s World Series team. Well, I like the Nasty Boys. That was just me. So, of the three Nasty Boys, Randy Meyer was probably my favorite. Just because I just felt like he was just one of those dudes that, he went in there and just did the job, which all three of those guys did. I liked them all three together. Mm-hmm. But Randy Meyer is probably my favorite out of those.
You want to hear one of my favorite stories ever about the 90s team is 1 year at Reds Fest, Todd Benziger was signing. And my buddy wasn't able to go, so I went. And I had a Todd Benziger starting lineup.
Oh, okay.
That he wanted me to signed. So I took it to him and I said, hey, my buddy couldn't make it. He really wanted you to sign this. Would you mind doing it? And he goes, I didn't even know they made this. Did Hasbro not give my guy a license?
Oh my gosh.
And he goes,
how'd that get by?
Yeah, right. Did the MLBPA not do action figures back in the day?
I thought so.
Is Ken Griffey Jr. just sitting on a ton of money that he has no idea about?
They're just they're like, it's Todd Benziger. We'll just make it. They're like, he's never gonna find out. He'll never know.
Yeah, till some idiot in Cincinnati, Ohio, in 2011. I think if I go back, because I was like 1, obviously.
Yeah.
I think I might have been a Glenn Braggs guy. I think if Glenn Braggs played in 2007 or 2008, he would be my dude.
Yeah, he was good.
I'm all for a guy who can break a bat over his knee.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah, I liked him. But back then, like back then I was a pitcher, so I was always watching the pitchers, and that was Rio. Of course, was the man, but the Nasty Boys, like they were just always fun to watch because you just never knew what was going to happen. I mean, they could throw at somebody. You had Norm Charlton running over people at the plate. You had Rob Dipple throwing at people's backs and throwing the ball into the freaking outfield. And I liked that stuff. It was cool. They had some attitude.
Yeah. Carrie asks, do you think Lodolo is on a ghost layout with the blister, stretch him out for the season? Maybe the same thing's coming for Hunter the Hurler. First off, Hunter the Hurler is hilarious. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard. Maybe I could see it in the sense that, but I don't know if that's I don't know if that's worth it with where you're at in the season. I think at this point you just kind of let him rip.
Yeah, I was going to say, for a team that's supposedly trying to win baseball games, like you wouldn't take your two best guys and say, "Oh, let's do this to kind of." I mean, because you need wins. Like you don't, having Lodolo for the St. Louis series maybe get you a win. You know what I mean? So I don't know where his start would have fell in the lineup, but if you have Lodolo and Green and Montas, and I mean, you're throwing these guys over the St. Louis game, then you possibly pick up 3 or 4 instead of 2 of 2. So and these are games that you need if you're saying you're a playoff contender. So I mean, I wouldn't do that because you're trying to win baseball games. So if it's probably legit.
Yeah, I think so too. Before we do talk about the Yankees series real quick, can we just take a second to talk about the legend of Jim Scott?
Oh gosh,
crazy, man. So sad.
Yeah, I can remember vividly, like in the morning when I was a kid. And this is, I don't know why I remember this. When I was a kid, my mom would turn on 700 WLW every morning, and we would listen to it from the time we got up because she'd flip it on. She'd make breakfast. I'd get in the shower, get dressed, and I can vividly remember hearing Jim Scott's voice every morning before I went to school. So to me, like, of course, to everybody, he is a legend. Of course, he's an icon. But part of my childhood was listening to him when I was in elementary and middle school, getting dressed and getting ready to go to school every single morning because that's who my mom listened to. So, when people talk about him being the voice of Cincinnati, like that's true. Like, dude, I heard sports reports from him. I heard the weather from him. I heard all the news from the night before and all the things that happened. Like, I remember hearing his voice vividly on those mornings. So, yeah. So for him to, for that passing to me, like it sucks because he's just another Cincinnati icon that's gone and, gone from your childhood. So,
yeah, I agree. Maybe the greatest radio voice of all time too.
Absolutely.
Just like
absolutely
perfect, excellent. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about this series because God help us all. So the Reds are heading to the Bronx for 3 with the New York Yankees, and it's going to be interesting. I just want to real quick mention. So I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but the Reds do still have a positive run differential after all this crazy conversations we've had of plus 15. The New York Yankees also have a plus run differential of 150.
I saw that today.
I'm sorry, 102. 102.
Those guys can hit the crap out.
So there's an 87 run differential between the Reds and the Yankees, and also they can pitch really well. And somehow they're in second place because the Orioles are also
incredible. And actually, the Yankees did have a little bit of a slide here in the last couple of weeks. They had not played particularly well, but it doesn't matter. So.
Yeah. So Tuesday, Doug takes the mound at Yankee Stadium with a short porch in right field.
Yep.
Against Luis Gil, who has been incredible.
Really good.
Andrew Abbott, who has been awesome, super awesome, versus Carlos Rodon on Wednesday, and then Thursday at 1:00. Frankie Montas against Marcus Stroman. And I still am very mad that Marcus Stroman is a New York Yankee because he would have been an awesome Cincinnati Red, like we all talked about all offseason. But I digress. Let's talk about the Yankees. They're super good.
Yes, they are.
They're super good.
Yes, they are.
They have maybe Giancarlo Stanton all of a sudden turned into maybe not MVP level Giancarlo Stanton by any means,
but he got better again.
He got Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge. Juan Soto is God bless that contract this coming off season because that's gonna be insane.
Oh, dude, yeah.
So let me pull this up real quick. Juan Soto right now has an OP. They have two guys right now, Ben. They have an OPS over 1,000.
Yeah.
How is that a thing?
Yep. That they do.
How is that a thing?
That they do. Yep.
What's Juan Soto? Juan Soto's got 20 homers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
Aaron Judge has 31.
Yeah. They're incredible, man.
What do they feed these humans?
Yeah, they're incredible.
Which is really
Aaron Judge has 82 RBIs already. That's just bananas.
Yeah. The good news is the Reds do not see Garrett Cole, who I know is on the comeback right now. Pitched pretty well today, but I'm not excited for this series for the sense of the Reds. But I'm always excited I get to watch Aaron Judge play baseball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Aaron Judge is he's out. Yeah, he's probably one of my favorite baseball players. I was mad that we missed. We went up there last year. Of course, we went to New York and watched the Yankees game. We missed him because he was hurt. But he is incredible. Just because if you've ever watched him play, it's almost Bonds-esque. His plate discipline and the way he just makes solid contact on every baseball. He's just really fun to watch.
I saw him here multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the Yankees would come here, I went to a game one time when him and Joey both homered. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My all-time favorite going to a Yankees game moment though was I was at the game when Chris Heisey randomly just had a 3-home-run game.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Johnny Gomes threw a baseball to me because that was really cool of him. So yeah, it was a neat day. But hey, we're going overboard here at this point, so we should probably go ahead and get out of here.
Yeah.
And wrap this up for this week's edition of Late Night Reds here on the Riverfront, part of Blue Wire. Hope you guys enjoyed yesterday's episode where that Nate did. That's a really cool crossover. Check out George's Box. It's a really good Yankees podcast. It gives you a lot of insight if you want to know more about the team going into the series. And then also check out tomorrow here on the same feed, Red Leg Roundtable with Seth Shaner, and he will be talking with Matt Andrews and my old buddy Jim Kelch. So good dudes over there. And then of course next week he has Drew Stubbs, and of course Saturday, you know where to be. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We can't wait. But we're gonna go and wrap this up on behalf of Ben and myself. Thank you all so much. Have a good week, and we will see you all soon.